Also this morning, former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is in the headlines. She's getting backlash for her comments on critical race theory. During an appearance on The View, she brought up her upbringing. Segregated South, she says her parents told her other people's prejudice was not her problem. Social media, though, they clap back at her comments, and there is a lot to unpack here. There's a whole lot to unpack. I interviewed her years ago, one-on-one, and I'm gonna let you go first because it was one of my favorite interviews, because there's a healthy fear when you sit down eyeball to eyeball with a woman who's so accomplished and so bright. And so I was ready. And I ended up loving the interview. But I'll let you go first about her comments on white people and shame and how we should proceed.
I don't know where to begin, feeling guilty or just knowing your past and knowing why there's some privilege and why the world is the way it is. Because no matter what you say or what you believe or what you don't want to believe when it comes to white supremacy, it exists. There are some privileges that you have in that critical race theory. You have to know about your past to understand your future so that you don't repeat your past. I know it's a cliche, but it's out there. I don't think that they're teaching it to make white kids feel bad about who they are, or make black kids feel like they are disempowered, like they can't do something, like they're at this huge disadvantage, like they can't overcome. We as black people have overcome, and we're still overcoming for many years. We persevere. We're persistent. We just always show that fight and that strength to do what we need to do. But this is necessary. You have to put it out there. Should I, as a man, Sharon? Let me ask you this question: as a man, should I feel, if I know that this country has been one that is full of sexism and misogyny, should I not know about what's happened in the past when it's come to sexual assault and the sexual misconduct of men in this country, and how we put women down, or how women aren't looked at as equal in the rights that they fought for and all that type of stuff? Yeah, I should know about that. I should know how my ancestors, how men before me did that, in order for me not to make the same mistakes that they made in the past. Now, is there a sense of guilt looking back at that and saying, okay, well, I'm a little ashamed of how men acted in the past? But no, I know what they've done, how that made a certain group feel, knowing that I'm at an advantage and knowing what I need to do to correct myself to make it better. So when Condoleezza Rice says that, I can respect her for her opinion or whatever, but I can't respect what she said in that moment. I can respect her as a woman, I should say, but I can't respect her opinion for what she said, because it's necessary in order for us to improve.
Well, I do respect her too. And I'm going to tell you something. Face value, I don't really find much fault with what Condoleezza Rice said there. But we're not talking about face value here. This is something that you got to look up under the hood. And you can't ignore what's up under the hood. Shame is not all bad, okay? You don't know if you're happy until you've been sad, right? Shame is God's great balancing act. And there's something else about shame when it comes to black children. They're born, and inherently they're full of shame because of this country and the way it treats black people, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with white children getting some shame up in them. Not in a punitive way. I love children. Shame to balance them out, to grow them up, to give them perspective and empathy, just like black kids have, okay? Inherently born in this country with a little bit of shame. So if I were to tell you, I've learned my distant relatives, great something or another, participated in a bombing down in Birmingham, Alabama, that killed 4 little black girls, what would be so wrong with me then saying, boy, I'm so ashamed of that. I'm ashamed of what my relatives did. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Shame is a powerful tool, and it can and should be a natural flow out of some of the things you learn about what has gone down historically in this country. So I think white children, God bless them, have been protected enough, okay? You didn't have that protection. No matter how much your mama loved you, neither did I, because we're black in America, okay? And I think we turned out okay. I think we turned out, they're going to be fine, Condoleezza.
Right.
They're going to be just fine.
They should know that they have a privilege. There is privilege. It exists in this country. You can't run away from that privilege, and that there is systemic racism that still goes on, and it's part of our history, not just their history. It's our history and how it's affected everybody in this country. So yes, it needs to be taught so that we don't continue to, we're still doing the same things. It's just expanded or grown 2.0 or 3.0, like you say, Jim Crow 2.0. It's just different ways of doing things, but we're still doing the same things that we did before. So if you don't know about your history, how can you correct them? Because we know about our history, we know we don't want to deal with the same things that they're taking us through right now, and we still have to make it better. So it needs to be taught. And yes, white and black kids should know about everything that's happened in this country when it's come to how it's affected us in this country.